Thursday, December 1st, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a bank robbery in Milford, a sentencing in a Weston drug overdose case, tips on protecting your packages from porch pirates, and much more. It's also Front Page Thursday, so we'll preview those later on in the show. Frank Granito will have your Nutmeg Sports update and a look at the forecast, and Donald Eng will join us to take a look back on this day in history. But first, a second Wilton family is suing the town of Wilton and the Board of Education for at least $15,000 after they claim their son, referred to as Boy Doe in the lawsuit, was sexually exploited by former Miller Driscoll paraprofessional Eric Von Cohorn back in 2013-2014. Board of Education Chair Bruce Likely told the Wilton Bulletin that while our policy is not to comment on pending litigation, I can tell you that the safety and well-being of all our students is always of paramount importance to the Wilton Public Schools. Von Cohorn worked at Miller Driscoll from 2007 until he was arrested in August 2014 and charged with first-degree possession of child pornography and promoting a minor in an obscene performance. He's also accused of sexually assaulting a female student, Girl Doe, whose family is also suing the town and the school district. He pled guilty to the reduced charge of second-degree illegal possession of child pornography and was sentenced to 6 years in prison, suspended after 2 years served and 10 years of probation back in October 2015. You can get more details on that story at wiltonbulletin.com. And in other news, Milford police are investigating a bank robbery at the Webster Bank at 314 Merwin Avenue, which occurred yesterday around 11:45 in the morning. Police say a man entered the bank through the front door, approached a teller, and passed a note that said, "This is a robber, give me all the large bills in the drawer." No weapon was displayed during the robbery, and after receiving the money, the suspect left on foot out the rear door towards Dunbar Road. A police officer and canine tracked the suspect, and that track ended in the area of Dunbar Road and New Haven Avenue, where it is believed the suspect fled in a vehicle. The suspect is described as a medium-build white man with facial hair in his late 20s or early 30s, approximately 5 feet 5 inches tall or 5'7", wearing a gray winter cap and sunglasses, as well as gray and black hooded sweatshirt, jeans, and sneakers. Anyone with information is asked to contact police at 203-783-4762. And in other news, 22-year-old Tahir Farad of Hamden was sentenced yesterday in connection to a drug overdose in Weston. Farid was sentenced to 6 months of imprisonment, followed by 3 years of supervised release for distributing oxycodone involved in an overdose earlier this year. That, according to Deirdre M. Daly, United States Attorney for the District of Connecticut. According to court documents and statements made in court, on January 3rd, a 20-year-old male purchased 30 oxycodone pills from Farid in exchange for $900. He then consumed some of those pills, as well as other substances, including Xanax. On January 5th, the 20-year-old male was found unresponsive at a friend's home in Weston. He remains unresponsive to this day, has no brain activity, and is currently receiving care in a nursing home. The investigation revealed that prior to the victim's overdose, Ryan Looney, also of Hamden, supplied Farid with oxycodone pills. Farid then distributed those pills to the victim. Farid was arrested back on February 22nd. On April 26th, he pleaded guilty to 1 count of possession with intent to distribute. Looney also pleaded guilty to the same charge and is scheduled to be sentenced on December 6th. The judge ordered Farid during his 3-year term of supervised release to perform 120 hours of community service and requested that the community service be directed at educating school-age children about the dangers of using opioids. The prosecution is part of an ongoing statewide initiative that's targeting narcotics dealers who distribute heroin, fentanyl, or opioids that cause serious death or injury. And WFSB reports that a child whose foot became trapped in an escalator was rescued by firefighters in Stamford on Wednesday night. Firefighters said the 5-year-old's foot became caught just before 8 at night at the Macy's department store on Broad Street. 14 firefighters responded to the scene, and when they arrived, they said they found that the child's foot had been pulled into the side of the escalator at the edge of a step. An automatic emergency stop system activated to prevent the child from getting hurt any further. Firefighters said they shut down power to the system and disassembled the escalator. They said the child was freed after about 39 minutes and transported to Stanford Hospital for treatment. That child is expected to be okay. And in an update on a story we brought you yesterday, after numerous reports of items being stolen from sheds in Milford, local police believe they've nabbed 2 of the suspects and are searching for the one that got away. According to police, at about 4:45 in the morning on November 30th, officers were dispatched to the area of Beaverbrook Road and Naugatuck Avenue on the report of people loading equipment into a van. Milford police had received a large number of reports from residents about burglaries from sheds and garages in the past 2 weeks. Officers responded to the area and observed the van heading south on Naugatuck Avenue towards Bridgeport Avenue. Officers attempted to stop that vehicle, but it continued east on Bridgeport Ave toward the Boston Post Road, eventually getting onto I-95 North. Shortly after getting onto the highway, that vehicle spun out, striking a guardrail and a police vehicle. 3 occupants ran from the car. Milford police officer Sean Degnan, with help from his canine Diesel, located 2 of them, 20-year-old Kelvin Quintero and 20-year-old Noel Figueroa Flores, both of Chapel Street in New Haven. The 2 were taken into custody while a 3rd suspect is still at large. That 3rd suspect is described as a white or Hispanic male who is wearing a red hooded sweatshirt and blue jeans. Anyone with information is asked to contact the police department at 203-878-6551. But let's switch gears now and throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. It's a gorgeous day today, finally.
Are we sure it's December?
December 1st.
The crazy week of weather continues on with a warm and mild morning throughout the county. Temperatures reached as high as 55 this morning, and they are expected to climb close to 60 later on this afternoon. Mostly sunny and a light breeze through the afternoon before a comfortable Thursday night with clear skies and temperature in the mid to high 40s. Tomorrow should be another sun-filled day with mostly sunny skies and strong winds for most of the afternoon. An expected high of 52 tomorrow with some passing clouds later in the day. We could see wind gusts as high as 25 miles per hour before clear skies and cool temperatures in the high 40s overnight. Saturday will have much more of a fall feel to it with temperatures back down in the mid-40s. Mostly sunny during the day, breezy in the afternoon. Clear skies overnight with temperatures falling into the 30s again. Those clear skies should carry over to Sunday morning, but we could see some afternoon clouds start to move in before the weekend wraps up. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, it's time to take a look back on this day in history. We also have a Nutmeg Sports update and some more local news, including police looking for tips on who's selling pot cookies at a local high school. That and a lot more coming up after this.
At Hoyt Livery, our goal is to always... Sam, what are you doing? We're filming a commercial.
I'm checking out the new Hoyt on the Go app. Hoyt's here!
What makes Darien special during the holiday season? Locally owned shops and restaurants where you can find everything you need to make your holidays more enjoyable. Start with breakfast, then shop for everything from toys to unique gifts and the latest trends in fashion. Take a coffee break. Stop at our farmers market or one of our shops where you'll find an amazing selection of cheeses and meats. Then enjoy dining at one of our fabulous restaurants. This holiday season, experience shopping and dining in Darien.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan, and you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Why cook at all this holiday? Avoid the stress of holiday planning and let your friends at Walter Stewart's in New Canaan do the heavy lifting. Whether you're looking to fill in with a few crowd-pleasing sides or you want us to prepare your whole feast, from cranberry sauce to pumpkin pie, we're ready to simplify your holiday. Place your order from our holiday menu and spend your holiday the right way, relaxing. Our fresh prepared holiday meals to go are designed with your busy schedule in mind. Visit us at stewartsmarket.com or at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Give the gift of fitness to someone you love this holiday season for only $1 a day. Halo Fitness in New Canaan is now offering 1 year of fitness for only $365. Halo Fitness is a state-of-the-art fitness center located at Halo Studios in the heart of New Canaan, with ample free parking and brand new locker rooms. Keep someone you love healthy with a gift of fitness this holiday season. Halo Fitness Holiday Special available for purchase during the month of December only.
We're back on this December 1st edition of your coffee break on the HAN network. It's time to throw it over to Donald Ang to take a look back on December 1st past. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the ghost of December 1st past, actually.
Yes.
So, a couple of things today that I easily could have done a whole segment on, but we're going to get through them as we can. First, though, 1824, the presidential election goes to the House of Representatives as no candidate had received a plurality of the electoral votes. Now, the election was interesting because if Josh Fisher was here, he would back me up on how interesting it was. 6 candidates, although 2 dropped out, all of them were from the same party. That was Thomas Jefferson's Democratic-Republican Party. In fact, the top 2 candidates had the same running mate. John Quincy Adams would prevail over Andrew Jackson, despite Jackson having won the popular vote 41% to 30, and 12 states to Adams's 7. Jackson would win the rematch in 1828, though. Adams would go on to serve 9 terms in the House of Representatives and also win freedom for the African slaves in the Amistad Revolt. Jackson and his backers would eventually evolve into the modern Democratic Party, and the less I say about Jackson, the better. He was a terrible human being. Look it up. 1913. Ford introduces the first moving assembly line. The concept, believe it or not, came from a Chicago slaughterhouse where butchers would remove the same cut of meat from carcasses as they passed by. Ford dubbed that the disassembly line. The line allowed Ford to build cars 8 times faster than previously, about 1 every 3 minutes, but there was a problem. The line bottlenecked at the painting station. Ford solved the problem with a quick-drying lacquer called Japan Black, which is why, starting in 1914, as Henry Ford said, customers could get their Model T in any color they want, as long as it was black. 1990, workers from England and France meet 300 feet under the channel. Work on the so-called channel had begun 3 years earlier and would continue for 4 more years. The 31-mile tunnel included 24 underwater miles. Fun fact, the excavation of the tunnel required the removal of 2,400 tons of earth per day for 7 years. By dumping it off a cliff into the channel, England got a little bit bigger because of the tunnel. Finally, now we go to 1955 for this.
When I got on the bus, the rear was filled with colored passengers, and they were beginning to stand. The seat I occupied was the face of the seats where the Negro passengers take as they on this route. The driver noted that the front of the bus was filled with white passengers, and there would be 2 or 3 men standing. He looked back and asked that the seat where I had taken, along with 3 other persons, 1 in the seat with me and 2 across the aisle, was seated. He demanded the seat that we were occupying. The other passengers very reluctantly gave up their seat.
Also, she did not refuse to get up because she also was not in the section where she was sitting, and she was not forced to give up her seat so a white man could sit. When police arrested her, she was sitting next to the window with 3 open seats next to her. The driver demanded she get up so that 3 white men wouldn't have to sit in the same row as she was. There's a lot more of that online. It's not as long ago as you might think. Lots of research to be done. But that is your look back in history for today, December 1st, and I'm Donald Ng.
All right, very interesting. Thanks so much, Don. In other local news today, Reading police believe a 15-year-old Joe Barlow High School student from Easton, who was found to be intoxicated at the school on Tuesday, November 22nd, was under the influence of marijuana. Chief of Police Doug Fuchs said Tuesday that the student may have purchased a marijuana cookie from someone at the school, leading to his intoxication. Anyone with information on the sale of marijuana cookies at Barlow is asked to contact Reading Police at 203-938-3400. But let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. The 2016 All-FCX football team was released earlier this week, and it featured players from all 17 of the FCX schools. Leading the way were the Ridgefield Tigers with 10 selections. New Canaan had 9, right behind them. Greenwich with St. Joseph's and Danbury had 5. West Hill and Wilton with 4. Norwalk with 3. Ward, McMahon, all Nutmeg Sports. AC State 20. Donovan, who led the University of Chicago's soccer team to the NCAA Division III Final Four this year. Number 11 Chicago reached the Final Four in dramatic fashion, edging number 18 Pomona Pitzer 6-5 on penalty kicks in the quarterfinals. Chicago will now take on number 5 Messiah in the national semis at 5 o'clock on Friday at Kerr Stadium in Salem, Virginia. The second semifinal, which starts at 7:30, features Brandeis against Washington of St. Louis. Nutmeg Sports Update. Again, we're back at 2 o'clock with the All-FCX teams and a preview of the CIAC semifinals on
Police at 2 a.m. on Sunday found an 18-year-old Wilton girl. She reported that police were unable to determine why she was covered in dirt and why she had left the woods without her friend. Police then drove the young girl to the Reading Police Department to warm up, and she told them her friend was still heavily intoxicated in the woods. A Wilton canine unit was called in, and just as it started to track the boy, the canine discovered him hiding underneath a number of blankets in his gray Chevy Traverse parked near the woods. No criminal charges were filed in that case. And the 5% rail rate increase proposed by the state over the summer goes into effect today. The increase includes all with a 1% increase already scheduled as of Wednesday, November 3rd. Commuting ticket to Grand Central from Westport, Greens Farm, Southport, Fairfield, and Fairfield Metro costs $366. As of Thursday, today, increased highway and bridge maintenance. And 'tis the season for porch pirates, according to the Connecticut State Police. Did you snag some deals on Black Friday and Cyber Monday? And are you currently waiting for those packages to arrive? Well, State Police say today is appropriately National Package Protection Day. They say don't fall victim to criminals who might be shopping on your front porch. Police suggest tracking your packages to give yourself an indication of when it will arrive so you can plan. They also suggest requiring a signature upon delivery to prevent those items from being left out in plain view, or asking a friend, neighbor, or family member to receive a package for you. They also suggest you can pick up some of your packages at a facility such as FedEx or UPS stores, or instruct the company to leave the package around the rear of your residence or underneath a porch. And in New Canaan, the Roger Sherman Inn and Restaurant will officially be closing on January 1st, 2017. That according to its co-owners, Joseph Jaffrey and Ness Jaffrey. Home builder and developer Andy Glazer announced in July that he had an agreement to buy the Roger Sherman property at the end of 2016. In October, he presented plans to the Planning and Zoning Commission for 7 single-family homes on the 1.7-acre property. P&Z has not yet acted on that application, but you can always look for updates at ncadvertiser.com. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, John Kovach joins me to preview the front pages of our HAN Network newspapers this week after this.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking, to a partner that makes small businesses feel big, where community comes first, where high-tech tools go hand in hand with a human touch, where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver, where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well, bank smart, bank local, bank well.
2, 3, F-E, you know! I want to find out how good I am. Yes, sir! If you relax, you get blown out. Let's get it done! Let's get it done!
What can you take advantage of right now?
Again, come on. I can push myself way beyond what you think. Pressure technique. Bring it back.
Visit Bevel Saddlery this holiday season, not just for equestrians. Celebrating 30 years in New Canaan, we offer an exciting selection of men and women's sportswear and exquisite gifts, from home decor, hostess gifts, stocking stuffers, to items for horse and hound. You'll find something for everyone on your list. We carry brands like Barber, Dewberry, Patagonia, and local gift companies. Located at 50 Pine Street, New Canaan, next to Walgreens, and online at bevel.com.
At In Sports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, In Sports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Sign up now for In Sports fall and winter lacrosse clinics and leagues. With programs ranging from first grade all the way through high school, there's something for every lacrosse player at all levels. Programs include college coaches clinics, youth box winter leagues, high school winter leagues, and 7-on-7 tournaments. For more information and pricing, visit us at insportscenters.com. Like us on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Denise Figuergoli, host of The Drive, here every Tuesday on the HN Network. It's about how you fuel your mind, your body, your spirit that creates the life you live, with people, places, ideas, and organizations that move us forward mindfully and consciously. Tune into The Drive here on the HN Network, Tuesdays at 12:30.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune into Yankee Fishermen, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
We're back on this Thursday edition of Your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. Kate Czaplinski joined now by our editorial director, John Kovach. The first issue of the month of December is out today.
Can you believe it? I
know,
really
I can't.
haven't
Well,
trouble.
it certainly doesn't feel like it today, but...
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not even close.
But we are going to start with this week's Wilton Bulletin, a story we just spoke about earlier on Coffee Break, which is another lawsuit now against the school system and the town there. Sexual abuse allegations. There was a teacher, a former paraprofessional who has since resigned, who worked in the school system since 2007. He was arrested for possession of child pornography, and there have been some claims that have come forward since then. So those lawsuits, you can read more on that at wiltonbulletin.com. Also, Selectman Lynn Vanderslice talking about her first year as first selectman. Holiday greens at the farm, Christmas trees arriving, always a beautiful sight. And another story we spoke about on Coffee Break was police make a daring rescue from a burning car. They pulled the victim out of there just moments before that car was completely engulfed in flames. So great rescue there.
With December come the holidays, and no exception in Milford, where Toys for Tots are now underway, and the Lamplight Stroll returns to town on Friday the 2nd. That's from 5 to 9 p.m. Also have Jessica Brockham, who's a 5th grader at John F. Kennedy School in Milford. She has been named Connecticut's Kid Governor. Story on that. And as we move on from the election of 2016, a church in Milford is holding a special service to try to bring people together because there's been so much animosity.
All right, taking a look at the front Times. Lovely picture, music for Mia, support. Viewership up 67 points.
Appreciate all of you for doing that.
Yes, we do.
Football and the Turkey Bowl also on the front page of the New Case with a photo. And there's always a moment of introspection during the national anthem. And he got a photo of Lou Marinelli and some of the players during the national anthem at the Turkey Bowl on Thanksgiving. A very, very
beautiful,
insightful, and beautiful is a great word
it's
for
a beautiful photo
there. Also in New Canaan, Planning and Zoning approving 110 units in 4-story buildings near St. Aloysius Church. That the Merritt Village project. Schools teaching, awareness of sexual assault to students in all grades, and a resident charged with manslaughter in the overdose death of his own son.
Oh, sad story there. All right, we'll take a look at the front page of the Shelton Herald. Shelton High School topping Newtown High in the state quarterfinals, 55-21. Congratulations to them. And Shelton High creating a school hall of fame. And another Shelton High centered story is that students weighing in on the election. Aaron Berkowitz spoke with a group of government students there. And more than 600 runners competed in the Commodore Hull Thanksgiving Day race. Such a popular race there, so very cool to see.
Darien, the other team in the Turkey Bowl against New Canaan, and a photo there, the joyous, victorious team raising the trophy after their overtime victory. And they're following closely the story in the top right corner, which is continuing discussions over lights at Darien High School. The Depot, which is a teen center in Darien, seeking some community support, and the arrival of Santa in downtown Darien.
Oh, all right. Well, taking a look at the Ridgefield Press, a group of volunteers calling themselves the Refugee Resettlement Committee of Ridgefield, saying that they are ready to take in a refugee family. Now, I know there's also been some backlash on this from some concerned residents, but interesting story there by Macklin Reed. Huge event coming up this weekend in Ridgefield, the Holiday Stroll. I mean, there is just nothing like it. You have horse-drawn carriage, all the lights on beautiful Main Street. So that is coming up. New parking and economic development job. A board wants details before spending $20,000 on that. And school enrollment in Ridgefield going down, but the board considering its options.
Due to noise complaints from West End residents, work on Route 57 installing a pipe that is going to cease during the overnight hours. The town has hired a new administrator, and a feature by Patty Gay on an artisan baker who's become the hot thing down in the Weston area.
All right, taking a look at the Stratford Star. More holiday lightings. Nice photo by Melvin Mason of the Stratford holiday tree lighting, even though it was a very rainy night. I saw that they watched most of that lighting from inside Town Hall, but cool story there. And more information being sought by the WPCA committee, group on the cusp of hiring an attorney for its sewer authority. And Bunnell falls in the state playoffs, but I know they had a great season, so congratulations to Bunnell.
In Reading, the Board of Finance has called for an investigation of school finances. Well, in an unrelated story, an audit found no problems with financial statements. But if you want to get away from all that, the holiday tree lighting is Saturday. Great shot from a prior lighting by Brian Hafley on the cover of the Reading Pilot.
All right, the Easton Courier, just a beautiful feature story by Susan Hunter on a handmade Christmas village by Easton resident Jean-Pierre Belperron, 82 years old. Very cool story. I'd love to see more of that village. Also, an energy task force eager to start a solar phase 2. School board updating its bid policy, and latest Easton Crossing plan calls for 66 residences. 20 of them would be affordable units.
In the Monroe Courier, the town council discussed sidewalk repairs. There's also a discussion of the lack of turnout at public hearings. Over 4 hearings on revisions to the town code. 2 speakers over 4 meetings. Giving tree tags are available, and an actress from Monroe is returning to the stage, performing in A Christmas Carol in Shelton.
All right, just a quick look at arts and leisure this week. Ridgefield author writing The Train to Skeleton Coast. Sounds like a murder mystery novel a bit. Very cool there. And The Conscious Cook discussing holidays at home. And of course, arts and leisure is just filled with all of the holiday events that are coming up this week. So,
such a great time of year.
Such a great time of year. But John, what is coming up on Yankee Fishermen at 1 o'clock?
We are going to introduce the new executive director of the American Museum of Fly Fishing in Manchester, Vermont. We had them on when we were up in Manchester a year ago in August. They've been a great friend to the show. Plus, we're going to talk to a Connecticut man who's kind of putting a new spin on some classic fly reel designs, some really handsome stuff being done by the Perfection Fly Reel Company.
All right, very cool. So that coming up at 1 o'clock, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock, and we'll see you for your coffee break tomorrow at 11. Have a great day.